Oh, it's on. Decent view over here, right? That's all I was about to do. And there we go.
Nice. Russian view.
How y'all doing today?
What up, bud?
Amazing.
Welcome to Against the Narrative again. You know, we got some live video. We out here, you know, not in the Discord today. We're going to see how this flows and how this goes. We're going to have a good time. Got a good conversation going on the price of peace. I'm going to let everybody introduce themselves and, you know, we're going to get started.
Right. Raya here. First time on a show like this in a streaming Twitch, and feels kind of good. Feels kind of good. I don't know if it's the Red Bull maybe, but yeah. All right, but yeah, you can find my info. What was that? Oh, all right, you can find my information at Infinite Source 369, and hopefully y'all enjoy the conversation.
Finale, gamer. You can find me on Twitch on Wheat. Talk to me nice. We're here to talk about things that are definitely not things that are currently present and very needed conversation. So you know what I feel. You gotta actually get to the underbelly of what people are not talking about in the streets, and you definitely cannot do that unless you have a proper group of individuals to do that with. So find you a group of people you can talk to, like these guys. You can't have my guys, but you can talk to your guys and your girls, and definitely have these types of conversations. All right. So this is Finale giving y'all a message to talk to your friends, talk about things, talk about opinions, different views, different whatevers. Because at the end of the day, if y'all can think different and still be friends, then that means y'all have something to talk about. All right. Word.
You know, and after that amazing conversation, I don't even really know how I want to get started with this one, because the price of peace is something that is, it's a deep topic, because originally when I thought about it, I had a lot of places I want to take it, but I just want to go around the room and kind of let everybody kind of speak on, like, what do you feel like it costs for you to have peace first, and then we can kind of go from there.
Okay. Well, do you want to start with each answer, or just go?
I'm going to let y'all go first, and then I'm going to go. And then we can kind of have a conversation on.
Well, I can got a one-word answer, and then you give yours, because mine is just one word, and it's patience. It costs patience, 100%.
Patience to have peace. I would say, like, my mind kind of digs, but what it costs, I guess to me, before I like, for me it's different from each other person, but when I think about it, it's like, to me, I always think peace is different for each person, you know. Peace looks different for each person. What is peaceful? And so I know my answer might not be like everybody else, but I think for mine it's like it costs attention and intention. Yeah, that's all I see. That's what you gotta pay for it and everything. That's what it costs.
Okay. So my answer to the question when I really contemplated on it was, it costs what you expected peace to look like. So a lot of times we have an attachment to what we think peace looks like. And with that attachment, we don't allow ourselves to find peace in where we are, because we're not in what we thought peace was supposed to look like.
Yeah.
And so for me, I think a lot of times the price of peace is the attachment to what you thought life would be like.
Like you basically, oh, okay.
Because some people hold on to that thought a lot longer than they should. Like, it's because you got to realize the picture paints itself damn near every time you have a birthday.
Literally, bro. Like, every year you have a new idea of what your peace will be.
Yeah, like, because you know, you got one year where you're not even worried about money, fame, bitches, or none of that. You just gotta, you worried about goddamn trying to be good at the fushigi ball or some crazy shit because you just like, this is something that I feel like I could do, but not for the purpose of being out in the world. No, you just want to have talent. That's not even something that you cared about at first, and then next thing you know, you had that 12th birthday, and you got Jennifer, who really like to put her hand on your neck in class, and then your whole outlook changed. Now you think you a player. So now you got a little bit of sauce. So your next birthday, you like, I'm finna have another bitch touching my neck by the end of the year. Then next thing you know, 14, you got shoes, clothes, fashion, judgment, any type of observation that you don't agree with coming out of somebody's mouth. You got a lot of shit to deal with because now you're in the public eye. The public eye has 60-40 chance of being on your side. You the 40. Because they don't know you.
Right.
And you got one opportunity to fuck up. And then now your whole outlook might be fixing that fuck up for 6 years.
And the truth is, you made all that shit up.
Yep. Because none of it made no peace. None of it made you feel like you wouldn't even think about peace.
And this was all a painted picture.
Of what you thought you wanted.
Yep. I used to think I wanted a dancer girlfriend. That shit is fucking gas in a whole lot of ways for dancers because you think you finna dance with your bitch for the rest of your life on the beach. All type of shit. And then you realize a lot of them motherfuckers is bops, and then I put my hand up.
Well, y'all both on tour all the time across the world from each other because y'all got to work different shows.
Realize you gotta dance with women who need sex appeal all over the place, and you gotta dance with men who need sex appeal all over the place, and both of them come with territory of being around the same people all the time. So whoever spiral first.
Whoever starts.
Whoever spiral first.
Yeah, right.
Whoever insecurity kick in first. So like you end up with the latter a lot of the times when you decide that peace isn't necessarily the picture I painted. Peace is actually being in an element that does not change your mood. Peace is somewhere where when you start your day at that peak, at that height where nothing has bothered you, nothing has disturbed you, nothing has ruptured your flow, nothing on top of that is festering, nothing below that is festering. You just having a peaceful ass day. That's peace.
Right.
But that's because people don't always paint it as nothing. Now people painting it as nothing. I just heard Eddie Murphy say the shit last night. This nigga's 65 years old. Damn near never did an audition for any movie he's ever been in. He has some like the most bragging rights as an actor, but that man literally said, and even the interviewer said it first because he said, "You said that your ideal day is doing nothing." And even as an actor, even as someone who is literally acclaimed as a legend to so many different eras, this motherfucker said, "Yeah, days I don't have to do anything, I don't got no plan. That's the perfect day." And it didn't even strike me as a famous person saying it. That was a regular man. And I was like, I'm like Eddie Murphy. I'm like Eddie Murphy because I damn sure don't matter if you are famous. It don't matter if you kind of famous. It don't matter if nobody don't know you. Nigga, peace is peace. Yeah. Regardless of where you're standing in the world, peace is peace. Quiet is quiet. There's a whole bunch of differences in those instances because you can just be quiet anywhere. You can be quiet in all displays. You can be quiet, but peace, that's completely different.
I don't know. I think that's another level of the conversation when we talk about the price of peace, though, because you have the price of like having like spatial peace, where it's like your environment is peaceful,
right?
And then there's like this mental internal peace that you can achieve, like through meditation and breath work and things of that nature. And so I think sometimes too often we're chasing an external piece.
Yeah.
And we don't even understand what an internal piece is.
Yeah.
So a lot of times people get to externally peaceful places and still don't have internal peace.
Yeah, bitches help me feel they can figure that out. For real. Bitches help me figure it out. It only took two. It only took two. Like, y'all gotta realize that we have more control over what we deal with than we let ourselves to believe just because we're with somebody. And even with, like, people giving up so much to be with somebody, like, you know, that's also a cost that so many people deal with that they don't know that they're actually giving up for free. Like, y'all giving up every single bit of peace that you had by yourself because you want to please somebody. When in actuality, the peace should come with it. They should want to be a part of your peace the same way you should be a part of theirs. See, we get the shit misconstrued when we like be peace, be that peace. No, motherfucker, because everybody's not capable of immediately being somebody's peace.
Right.
Like, you have to be a part of someone's peacefulness. You have to become. This is a regular thing.
You have to intentionally do it.
You have to intentionally do it, because if you're not trying to constantly pursue a pattern, a flow, a thing, a network, or something that's just literally you, your vibe, your person, your life, nothing else matters. You got that.
Right.
So you can go out and venture outside of that because that's a constant flow. You're going straight no matter what. You can come home to something that's always going to lift you right back up. But you have to actually put that shit together. If you don't put it together, now you got to deal with creating peace for yourself, for somebody else, and a whole bunch of other motherfuckers who don't give a fuck about where you're going home to. Because it all comes down to what you're giving up at the end of the day. How much you're literally expending per day just to attain peace. If you're trying to attain peace every single day, nigga, you have a problem. You have an absolute problem, because that means you have a literal cycle that's starting at when you wake up, when you go to sleep, and it don't even stop, because guess what? Nightmares exist, nigga.
Right.
That means you up sweating every single day. You don't even have to wake up. This can freeze you in your sleep. Sleep paralysis, dumbass. You have a lot of things that can hold you down, and you not know it, because you're trying to attain peace every single day.
Yeah, that's what it is between allowing something to happen and then chasing it. Like, there's a level of like when we get into like wu wei, action without action. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's an aspect of kind of like getting into something naturally. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I think that things like peace, happiness, and joy is something you have to allow into your life.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? But Ryan, I want to hear some of what you got to say. You know, you've been listening. You're listening.
I've been observing.
You got kids, man, so you should be on this.
Yeah, it's in my mind. Like, I kind of like I see it as the more I'm sitting here hearing like from your points of views, I'm sitting here like just looking at it and it's like, dang, I'm even challenging. Like, I play devil's advocate with myself, so I like to say whatever I want. I'll decide, like, what if I decided to get what I don't want out of it. So if this is what I want to give up for peace, now what do I not want to give up? What don't I want to give up for peace? And I just challenge myself like that.
That's a question you should ask normally, though.
Yeah.
That's
Because it's like, to me, I feel like you think that what you want is exactly what's needed for you, but in reality, you don't even really know what's needed for you. We are all learning life each step as we're reminding ourselves who we were when we first decided we were going to come down here and join this human experience like shit, right? So it's like, I feel like at certain points, you just get, we get too caught up in the what could be or what if type thing,
definitely.
and then we forget, and to me it's like, why we got all these, like I said, I challenge myself because we got all these different things, so it's like I want to remember, I want to remind myself, I want to re-educate myself, reintroduce myself, this and that, and so that's why I was just sitting there thinking about what y'all was saying. My point, where I was going with, it's like, I don't know, now I'm sitting there thinking like peace might be priceless. We choose ultimately, because like what you said, it's like we gotta like kind of like learn how to control. To me, I feel like that means we gotta learn how to choose, make the choice that is suitable for us, right? Yeah. We have to choose what's good for, like what's going to maintain my peace. I don't actually have to pay anything.
No.
I just have to make the right choice that is gonna
There you
like.
go.
That's what I'm
You
sitting there
don't
listening. Like,
have to
yeah.
pay a thing.
But that goes back to what I was saying, where it's like you choose, like earlier, it's like the idea of you, the price of peace being what you're willing to let go of, what you're attached to. So like, if you're attached to this idea of like peace looks like this, or I need this or this or that to have
It all
peace,
depends on what you come in.
you're making that what you need to have peace. You can have peace now in the present moment, with whatever you have.
Right.
But if you don't choose that what you have and where you're at is peaceful, then you can't achieve peace in that place.
Mm-hmm.
Dang,
Because I'm slowly starting to understand what mine is, but this is only because over the last however many years since I moved out, I've just started to develop it. And it was like, all right, so I know that I have specific days that I can set to increase my peace in the happiest way, so that my peace is enhanced in some type of version, so that my constant got a little snap in it, a little jump in it, because I can only go up. So I made those days because I was already feeling like my flow was coming together. And then once I actually realized that my actual life in general, because I prefer to be at a constant level of like this all the time, hands up, just vulnerable. I prefer to be like this because it doesn't really, like, my vulnerable self isn't harming me by showing it. So, because a lot of people will have that vulnerability as a wall, because they realize that it's only particular people that have gotten that close, and then everybody else has tried to knock down the wall some other way because, you know, they made heightened emotions come out through something else, trying to disturb peace and all this other stuff. But it could have been many different things that cause somebody to put up a wall that actually triggers something that's actually peaceful. People don't know how to trigger peace. They know how to trigger emotions.
Anxiety.
So it's like you actually become more of a fighting force to attain peace versus a force that's just trying to understand.
And what you said is powerful too. I want to touch on this because it's like the idea of, in order for you to really get constant peace, you have to first get into meditation and find your actual peace in the present. Once you get the presence and peace and mindfulness in the present moment, then you can start implementing habits based off of the things that help you find peace to keep maintaining peace. And so what it is about, okay, let me find peace first. Let me find the things that give me peace. And then let me start implementing those as often as I can in my weekly life, so that you can create habits of peace. And this is where you get into lifestyle peace. If you can maintain it for 30 to 90 days, then now you've made a lifestyle out of peace. And you've programmed your life to keep you in a state of peace. That's why people have a meditative practice or a yogic practice, or they work out consistently at some point in time, or they create. You feel what I'm saying? Whatever it is that gets you in that space of peace.
I ain't going front with y'all, like, cause I got children. I have a whole bunch of stuff that I do outside of that.
You have to be strategic
like,
about it.
Right. It's like I gotta like, my space of peace for me is like if I can get like between that 1 to 3 in the morning, like a few good rounds in Call of Duty or some Warframe or some shit like that. That's my state of peace. And then you like, dang, you don't feel good when you be helping these other children. I mean, I feel good, but it doesn't consistently feel peaceful.
Because you're giving it outside of yourself and not to yourself. I think that's something that we don't talk about a lot in the community, because a lot of people say like, okay, well, if you do the work, you have to make sure that you keep yourself balanced in some fashion. So to say that I do a certain kind of work that I'm never tired of would be a lie.
Right.
At some point in time, especially if you're not doing it in a balanced sense. And a lot of times, because of how drastically the space needs healing, the community needs healing, when you do get into the work, it is a bit overwhelming if you don't have the proper checks and balances. If you aren't good at boundary setting, if you aren't good at time management, and then especially if you don't have some type of self-work practice. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are doing all of this and they aren't going home and saging themselves. They aren't going home and doing spiritual baths. They aren't doing their personal meditation. They aren't working out. They aren't eating right. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, this is where you get into the idea of being a holistic practice. Like, because my motto is, in order to give, your cup has to be overflowing.
Right.
So you have to give to yourself first in order for you to be able to water the things around you. And so That's really the price of peace. Like, are you giving to yourself enough for you to find peace? That's another level of it.
You gonna be out here.
Like, for
You're
real.
gonna be tired. You can't be at peace when you're tired.
And then you go to then get mad at somebody. I'm not peaceful. I need some more peace. I gave it out. Hey, give me some of your peace.
Mm-hmm. They could be like a
misery loves
like
company.
a basketball player. They giving out assists all day, but guess what? They still get paid.
Right.
Imagine if somebody was there passing the ball because they have to and wasn't getting no money because of it. And if they didn't take a shot, they wouldn't get no money. That's pretty much what it is.
Or by the time they take their shot, they tired.
Because I've been giving out all day. All these niggas I've been working to get these niggas good shots. All they got to do is catch and shoot. But guess me? I got to do all the work to get them the ball.
And then I got to cross the nigga in front of me to get my shots
Right.
off. Cause ain't nobody passing me the
I
ball.
got obstacles, but that's what they do. They just got to get around what they got to get around. That one obstacle, find an opening, and take a shot. But if you literally become the person that's like, all right, I'm about to be Steve Nash. I'm about to be goddamn. I'm about to be Jack. I'm about to be whatever type of football player you could think of in your dreams. That was literally the man passing the ball, and he had the biggest check because he was the man that already got his shit down. They're paying me the most because I centered myself in my path.
Right.
You
And I got me right.
Right.
I can lead these niggas to victory. I got me right. That is a quarterback is the only person that can give up because he is the captain and he is literally getting paid a lot more than most people on that team. Everybody else, you got to protect that nigga.
Right.
Or you got to go out and find your own fucking path and hope that motherfucker come to you. Because that is literally how life works now. If you're not protecting somebody, you're going out so you can make an opportunity for yourself. That nigga who's in the captain seat, not worried about none of that, but making sure that everything goes correctly. Some of these motherfuckers will sit here and say that that is their role for the rest of their life and be okay with that.
Yeah.
A lot of people, because at the end of the day, if I can keep making opportunities for myself and it's putting money in my pocket so I can support mine, they ain't got nothing wrong in their path because at the end of the day, it's working. You did what you needed to do to get there. And on top of that, people see you. You wouldn't make a touchdown if ain't nobody see you. That's the whole idea. But everybody else, you're fighting in the line, trying to be that guy. You don't hear about the offensive lineman and the defensive lineman as much as the wide receivers, the running backs, and the quarterbacks. Why? Because they're trying to defend and protect. The people who have the simplest job are never going to get that.
Right.
Because it's a simple job. All you got to do is defend, protect, and make sure that nobody touch the big man. But guess what happened when they get out the way?
Everybody important. You still got to play the role that you decide to play, and I think that'd be the biggest thing when it comes to peace. Is like a lot of people is like, well, I didn't decide this for myself. Well, you ain't moved.
I should.
you ain't did nothing different. You ain't went nowhere different. You ain't tried nothing different.
Yeah, like, bro, what would you think if you told them, hey, I'm getting out the way? They gonna prepare to get you. You told them.
Right.
You told them you're getting out the way. So guess what? Bring another man in. That's what subs are for. They got somebody else. Get out the way then. Tell them you're getting out the way. But if you just move, guess who got to take the blame?
Right.
You're not setting yourself up.
You slacking in the
just
position
slacking.
you chose.
You just slacking in the position you chose because you don't want to do it no more. You don't want to be vocal about it. Don't slack on being verbal as much as you just want to slack on being physical.
Right.
Because you slack on one, the only reason you gonna get tired doing the other was because you slacking on one. You got a lot of different methods to actually get what you want when it comes to peace and when it comes to actual your own life path. Your own life path has a form of peace that's only going to be coherent to you. So if you actually feel like something is disturbing that constantly, cool. You can make that move, but guess what? If you make it silently, there's nobody else in this world that's gonna know what the fuck peace means to you, unless you're expressing it openly. I express my peace to every single one of you niggas. What y'all know what it is too. I don't even have to tell it. Nigga, we doing something in general in a comfortable setting where we can sit, talk, smoke, laugh, dance. Solid. I'm good. I ain't got no qualms. If you want to go outside next week, cool. I done got my chill out the way. So we ain't got no problem. It's just what you actually deem suitable for the things you want to continue doing after the fact. Something that you can do anytime, and you gonna still want to do something later. Because we can always come back to this.
And I'll add another level onto it. The price of peace is the things you have to change in order to get your peace. You know, sometimes it's like you wanna, like for instance, if you say you tired of the job that you work, okay, well, are you willing to work harder to get another job?
Right.
Sometimes that's your peace. The hard work that it's gonna cost for you to find a job you like is the price of what your peace is. Because if you're not willing to do the work to find a new job and get in a new position, that's what's aggravating. You're gonna be where you at. And a lot of times, even with something simple like, oh, okay, I'm tired of being tired. I always in pain. Well, do you eat better? Do you work out? That's the price of your peace. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you gonna put yourself in a position to not deal with the things that are aggravating you?
I think that makes people like it's gonna have to make you really reflect on what do you want again. Like, what do you want as peace? Now, what did you see as peace again? Because you said you want peace, so you gotta do this to get that. Well, I don't know if I really want to do that. Now, what did you say you wanted as peace?
Exactly.
Like, you gotta like really reflect. What did I really want? What do I really want?
I think. Go ahead.
Maybe that's not it. Maybe this is showing me that that's not it. Not oh, this is everything's against me. Not it's their fault or I need somebody else to give me peace. I need external validation. It's none of that stuff. It's literally just you reflecting on your, I guess, what you've seen happen. What you feeling from it. Yeah. This happened. I don't like this feeling. Or it's uncomfortable. You know what? What did I say? Now this is so maybe I don't want that because if that comes with that, and I don't want that, maybe I don't want this. Let me really see what I want.
It starts to signal a lot of things at once, and like when you listen to them, I hit my fuck it when I listen. I hit my fuck it immediately when I listen. That's why I said it only took two. And I was like, yeah, I ain't like none of that. Fuck it. I don't want none of that. I'm going to leave every single bit of that alone. And when it came like the decision itself, because it sounded so crazy in my head, I was like, I'm giving up on bitches. It sounded crazy, right? It sounded like, whoa, what you going through? I'm like, nah. I'm just going to wait for one that wants me the same way I want them. Wife. I made that was the last decision I made regarding women. Literally. I didn't make any other decisions after that because it didn't make sense. That stress, that disturbs my peace. Because my peace becomes non-existent when it's somebody that doesn't really give a fuck about peace. And even two of them did not give a fuck about peace. They didn't want peace. They just wanted to make friction, constant friction. They just wanted to be someone. You know what I'm talking about. Right. So just like, me nigga, peaceful, don't like it. All right, cool. I can be spineless, but guess what? I'm a human being. So I promise you, there's something in there. That just don't mean I need to use it for every little thing that you need. Cause I'm gonna break mine. I have one. You have one. Why is one bending?
Yeah.
Same body parts.
Right.
But one has to bend for the other one to stand up straight. That's crazy. So you got to consider that inside and out. The signals that come to you and tell you and try to spell it out for you, literally, figuratively, spiritually, in the same way. If they give you the same message, I try to actually listen to each message. And once they start to tell you the same thing at the same time, that's when you have to actually be like, all right, this is believable. This is somewhere that I need to go ahead and step out of because peace is not a thing here.
And what you're speaking about is like heart-mind coherence. Once your heart and mind have an understanding that this isn't me, I'm not comfortable in this situation, you have to choose to change and grow into that and accept that. And I think that's a part of like understanding mindfulness is that like, all right, I have to know who I am to know where I'm comfortable.
Right.
And it takes time to get there, and you have to have a certain kind of experience to show, hey, I really don't like this. Whatever this is, whatever this space is, I don't ever want to come back here.
Right. You really do go, and I think also like with that, it's people. I think people sleep on it, but that's a way that you love yourself. That's the type of way that you love yourself, because it's not always about buying yourself things. And sometimes it's about actually looking at the way that you feel about a certain situation that's happening. Being mindful in that moment, being mindful. I'm looking at exactly what I'm at. Not what I'm thinking about from the past, not what I'm thinking about from what's going to happen. I feel this way right now.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on? Why do I feel this way right now? Look at what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait a minute. This is what's happening? What was I trying to do? This is my dream. This is what's really happening.
I had in the car before I made that decision. That's the exact conversation I had. And I was like, yep, let me go ahead and get with this one. Let me go ahead and go with this one. I feel it.
Bro, because it's like the signals is right, is present. If you mindful, you don't miss none of this. Because it's all right there at the same time, all that's happening. So it's like, you don't miss none of it. It's impossible if you're mindful. And it's just like, yo, yeah, nah, wait a minute.
Your life was so good after that.
Bro, because like, I feel like that's the golden moment. I think people get I'll say people got distorted in like knowledge. People just confused now. But they don't realize that moment where your gut, I don't know, it's in your gut. Some people feel in your head, but it's like your body heats. Something happens. It's like a reaction in you. And I think that's the physical part you were talking about. Like something happens in you.
Feelings are real.
So once you realize that your body is a receiver and that the situations that you're at and the locations that you have them in will activate your body, it's an idea of resonance, synchronicity. You feel it in your body when you're about to make a decision that could change your life for the better or for the worse.
Everybody has that moment in a timeline when you can literally, let's say, I wanted peace. The thing that you wanted is now presented to you as like a choice. Like, here, so do you want this, or do you really want this, or do you like you can, or you know what, you can get these things. Like,
They started chasing me. It's crazy.
what the hell? You're like, yo, okay. I think that's what bro. That's what messes me up. It kind of, that's like not a pet peeve, but it could. Bro, I say it kind of fucks with my head. It fucks with me a little bit. I get a little bit like Twitch, like a little record stop in my roll of life. Wait a minute, you said you did want to do it, so you gonna go do it?
You realize people don't be thinking for real, bro. Like, it's like, I think that's my thing when it comes to like wanting to teach in a certain fashion, because it's like, we all grew up around that generation of parents is always trying to be better.
Oh yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And so it's a difference. I love my folks and I love everybody from the South, but it's like, at a certain point, you either are going to do and make the changes that you need to make to be in a better place, or you are okay with where you at. And so the mindset I got about it was to keep my peace was people change when they're ready.
Right.
And you're not going to truly step out of a situation until you're so frustrated with it that you can't stand it anymore. No matter how good or bad it is for you, there's a level of the reality that forces you to run a cycle until you're tired of being in that cycle.
Like, you gotta see the truth. Like, you created it, and you decided you wanted to delude your own creation. It's your creation, so you gotta face the facts. Like, look what you did.
Well, it's a crazy example, I think, though, old people.
Yeah.
Because you see how when an old person has all of their memories and they mean, the minute they lose them, they nice.
Man,
They ain't got none of that. They ain't got none of that acute thinking they had no more, because they ain't thinking no more.
They ain't got all that pent. They can't put together the bullshit that they were living by.
They was mad about something.
Something they was holding on to. They had to let go of it though.
you your most mindful self when you not thinking.
Well, when you step out of thought, because like you gotta realize it. Like, thought is what, like, I think a lot of people don't truly process this. Like, let's get into it a little bit. When you think about anytime you've gotten upset, there was a thought that made you realize something, but the realization, all of this, the thought itself is all just your perspective. None of this is actually like the only way that this could be perceived.
Right.
Not only is it not the only way it can be perceived, you're choosing to attach to the idea of what happened. You see what I'm saying?
So it's like
you
the way I
formulated
see
this
it
perspective
happening is
of
the
it.
way it's gotta be. There's no other way it's happening but the way I'm
My
thinking
grandma
about it.
was
And so now that you stuck there and you were attached to that thought, now you're just playing out this entire reality. When you could have just been like, oh, that's an interesting way of looking at it, and choosing peace. Like, oh, okay, I could look at it like that, but because I want this, which is peace, I'm gonna follow it this way.
Yeah.
And there's like that's why I said there's like a commitment. There's a lifestyle choice to peace for me. It's like I wanna like turning the other cheek, being a bigger person, whatever you call it. There are only certain situations that are worth it. You feel what I'm saying? And the truth is, a lot of times, worth what? It's the question. A lot of times, you're paying your peace. Whatever you're frustrating you, you're giving away your peace for it.
Ooh, yeah.
And that's the reverse of this conversation.
Yeah.
Is that if you're not at peace, whatever you have is what you're trading peace for.
Like the thing that you wanted to have, you're giving that away
To get what you have.
and that's no peace. But hey,
So you could be peaceful, but you chose to pick up the perspective, the ego, or the identity that is keeping you separate from peace.
right. Golly, and this again, it's like you got to question. Stop. This don't feel good. Hold on, wait a minute.
Why not? What could I do to change that? I mean, and to me, that's what meditation is. It was breaking down to me about, all right, so if I'm going to sit and meditate, what am I meditating on? Well, I want to stop thinking about something. Well, why do I want to stop thinking about this thing? How is it making me uncomfortable? These are the thoughts I have when I meditate, because in order for you to get out of that thought, you have to walk through it.
And that's the thing. I think people get mixed up. Like this reality that's right here, right, is different than that in there. Completely different. So like, although I'm feeling these things out here, if I go in here, the things that I'm feeling, I don't have to feel it. I don't. And I think people forget like this is in your mind. It's your world. It's literally your world. So
So
you
if you knew that you could come in and out of those things because they both belong to you, both are yours. Like people get too absorbed in the mind and the thoughts that actually come with the present day problems that they have when those things are probably not even the same.
exactly like it doesn't matter.
You're probably mixing this with that.
I was about to
This
say,
with that.
yeah.
And then you see the person and you already thinking about this, so you already like, I can't be neutral with this motherfucker because my head is not in the neutral zone. Like you got a lot of ways that you could just come into something wrong because you're thinking about something that isn't right, but it's not right to you.
Oh, you still worry about something that happened a long time ago or something that happened that day. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm having a bad day. There's, bro, I'm so glad. I don't know if I have ADHD, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Bro, I'd be so over shit, like some shit can happen, and then I'd be mad, and then I'll go do something else, and I've been forgot about it, bro.
Man.
And then once I realized that real mindfulness is being realizing that, okay, once something happened, once that moment is over, it's over with. It's done. It's like that sequence is past. It ain't. You can't rewind it back. You can't change it. You can't fix it. So whatever happened, accept it. Move into the next moment. And if you leave those emotions there and you felt them in that moment, felt how you felt, you did. And the idea is being able to feel how you feel, not act on it, and then realizing that next moment that how you felt it doesn't matter anymore because the thing that cued that is gone.
I think the whole point of those emotions even existing, like that moment of discomfort, was for you to either, or like to learn a little bit more
Accept
about
what
who
it
you really
is.
are. This is what it is. This
I
is
don't
what
like
you
that.
did. This is what happened. This
I
is
don't
what
like that.
they did. This is okay. So now from this point forward, for your peace, what are you willing to do? Well, I'm willing to, probably try to communicate more.
Definitely.
So
Communicate more effectively.
Yeah, like I'm willing to do this. Okay, so what are you willing to give up? I'm willing to give up the being offended if they say this about me.
Or my lack of vocabulary.
You see what I'm saying? It's like I think it's a whole thing. People gotta like go into like you gotta learn that mindfulness. It's not to me. I think meditation is the simplest way for us to inform the masses, right? Universally, it's acceptable. But I really feel like love, like listen to you, love on you, like actually listen to you, not parts of you. When I say you, it's like all the emotions exist, right? But you get to choose. So you is the one who get to question the emotion. Listen to you, like, all right, so what am I feeling? I feel this way, so why do I feel this way? All right, that's like you gotta listen to it.
That's another layer to it, though, because I think a lot of times people don't allow themselves to be the entirety of themselves. Like, you can be mad and still be at peace. Like, a lot of people feel like because I'm angry, I can't be peaceful. I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't be sad and at peace. I gotta. If I'm sad, I'm just sad.
Body is split into 3 portions. You got this part, that's the mind, and then you got this part, and those are the gut feelings, the soul, the spirit.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
And then you got this part, where nothing else matters.
That's a 3-body problem.
Right, it's a 3-body problem.
Right. So if we think about where you like, this is how I know how I think, because I think from the waist up.
Right.
Definitely, because I don't give a fuck about none of this down here. In most cases, my wife will tell you that. Most bitches deal with me to tell you that. I don't give a fuck about none of this down here. This shit don't work on me. This shit don't go to here. Never has. It can't, because if I let it affect me, then I promise you, I would have had more hoes than I had friends. Like, for real. But if you think about the fact that you can start here, feel here, and understand here at the bottom, that's when you understand. This is where love comes in. This is where your actual feelings come in. This is where the things that you actually can understand as a part of you make you happy coming from somebody else.
Right.
That's where all this is. Okay, guys? This right here and this right here, it needs to be drawn all this down here before you actually start to understand what you as a person need. Because having to teach somebody that, and I've had to deal with that with my significant other, because you have to understand traumas that come with why people think here, and here. Because a trauma always comes attached to it. It's always something that they're thinking about too much, and they don't know where to go, so they go there.
Right.
They don't know they can go here, and they don't know they can think they can feel here, because they don't want to. That's where the trauma is stopping. Trauma stops here, and goes here.
Yeah, it cuts off. So what you're pretty much saying is that people that are traumatized, or there's an idea of understanding how to lead with your upper chakras, and then understanding that a lot of people that experience trauma are cut off from their heart and live in their lower chakras.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And once you get into understanding that, you realize that a lot of people seek peace in physical things because they're cut off from higher ideas of understanding.
I see it like a river in the sense that flows to an ocean. Like, you know, it's everywhere. It's abundant, right? Everybody's a river that flows to an ocean and connected. But some people are like, in a sense, they have a dam, or they'll put a dam in certain parts. Like, that might be the lower. They'll put a dam up here. Like, so they're connected. Like, heart, they might love somebody, right? And they might intimately can be, you know, right with a person, but spiritually, in a way, think about themselves. They don't love themselves like that.
Bottom,
or they can't communicate right.
Oh yeah, they can't. Like, they don't know. Like, in their mind, they don't know that they're either lying or telling the truth. They don't see it as neither, because they don't understand what is effective in communicating with people.
They don't understand their own truth.
And that's like, to me. So it's like I truly believe. Again, this is why I said, like, that's what I was saying before. I think we got to get to a space where we find that it don't matter what religion, what God, what theology, what school of philosophy you came from. Everybody, we're all human, so we can all say we have, if not the same organs, organ setups, the same organs, right? And so that means the way we're made in that sense is similar. It's very similar, even if there's few differences. Very similar. So that means if I gotta open up something that's not just like my heart, my legs, or my mind, I have to open up who I am for all of that shit to flow through. The knowledge, the experience, the what I want to do.
We all have the capability to get
exactly. We all got to be able to do it. Like, everybody can do it.
It's just ideals that keep people from doing that.
Well, I think it's fear. I think a lot of times we like that's where I get into understanding the whole systematic oppression thing. Like, there's an aspect of this reality that requires you to want to figure this out, to want to seek this information. And then not just seek it, but then apply it.
Right.
So I think there's a disconnect a lot of the times.
So you saying what? So you saying fear causes the disconnect, or is fear?
I think fear keeps people from acting on their intuition.
And fear does not look like fear in most cases.
And most people don't understand that they're afraid.
So it's like this invisible force that doesn't. You know, this reminds me of the best way the devil. What does it say? What is it saying? The best way the devil made it so. The best way the devil hid itself like is make itself seem like it didn't exist or something like that. Yeah. So it's like
people don't fear him.
Yeah, it's like, oh, there's nothing. There's nothing wrong with you when actually it might. To them, it's nothing wrong with you, but for you, you feel it.
Like they know that a person who isn't afraid is a lot more dangerous.
Yeah, bro.
That's the thing, but it depends on what they're not afraid of. They're not afraid. Like if you're not afraid of whatever someone's religion's base is when it comes to consequences and stuff like that, like that's something that you can have a conversation with somebody about. That's something you can be like, I understand where you're coming from, but you know the soul and spirit that are connected to the things that you do could actually have an effect. Like you could talk somebody through that, but when it comes to somebody who's not afraid of something like dying,
right,
that's when you have to realize that there are things that fear actually cannot uphold when it comes to, like, you know, just righteousness and morality and all that other stuff, because you got somebody who's not afraid to die. So he does not care where he goes once he gets done doing what he's doing.
Right.
He just like, I'm gonna go ahead, fulfill my mission, whatever the mission may be, and if I don't come back, it's out of my hands. He don't care who hands he fall into. Because he could fall somewhere else and end up in somebody's baby.
I think the key here is understanding that I feel like if you don't believe something, you'll fall for anything. So when in this concept, I have a circle and a square. The square is having some type of foundation.
Okay.
And then once you have a foundation that you can stand on, some idea of self, something that you can ground into, you can begin to circle around to see all the aspects of who you are. But if you start circling around to see all the aspects of who you are without any foundation, you're overly attached to each version of yourself while you're going around. And so that's why I say you have to circle the square. So first you need a foundation. You need 4 principles that you live or die by. That's your foundation. They can be 4 words, they can be 4 ideas, 4 ideals, whatever it is, 4 practices, 4 things that ground you into who you are and what you do.
You'll never compromise on it.
And then that allows you to have a foundation. So these become like your true norths. Your north, east, south, and west.
Yeah.
These are your 4 guides, your 4 pillars, whatever you want to call it.
I won't go below this point. I won't reach beyond this point. I'll make sure that everything's in arm's length.
These are the boundaries of who you are as a person. And then once you understand that, you can now circle around all the possibilities freely without attachment because you know where you can ground back into.
Like where you can, yeah.
And so, you see what I'm saying? And so you end up finding, so that's to me how you should be. This is to me spiritual and occult practice in function.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, cool. You know your astrology. You know your sun, moon, and your star. Whatever. Pick 4 of those things that you want to cater to as the direction you want to go. Like some people feel like you get your sun, moon, your rising, and then you pick like your career or whatever you want to focus on as the 4th pillar. Go learn your planets for all that. Go learn how that fits into your alignment. Learn how to act to align with that person. And then now you can look at everything else about you and see what else you want to learn from there. So now you have your foundation. Now you can explore who you are as a person. Now you can go look at human design. Now you can go look at tarot. And you can play with all these different things because you've grounded into some perception of self.
Okay, that's an interesting way to say it. I think for me it has been it's been like because I came from like a heavy religious background, so for me it's been like a whole thing of like when it comes to fear. I truly believe religion and stuff like I feel like the fear of death is the ultimate fear out of all things. Like you fear anything that you mostly fear is because it could possibly kill me or it could take away the life that I am learning, experiencing, processing, whatever you want to call it, action at that moment. But I now am afraid of this because it could possibly kill me. I'm afraid of doing this. And I feel like people join religion, right? Even political groups, any type of society or communal, societal or communal like gathering type thing. I feel like people do it in order for like to soothe their fear.
to justify
Safety.
to make them feel better.
Safety net.
Yeah, because in my mind, like honestly, you don't need anybody, right?
But we are social creatures. By
I was just
design.
about to say everything is purpose though. So you're supposed to. The people you meet, that means it was purpose. If you don't need anybody, and I don't need to have. We don't need to be. We can all. I got other things right now in our lives. Each one of our lives right now we could be doing right. But we're here, so that tells me this is like to me, right? This is purpose. So if I'm interacting in life, I'm going through all these things and stuff like that. If I'm here, and I'm questioning myself when all my life, all the time, all the things I've been doing and stuff, I get to this moment, is what it is doing competition. I'm just more like fear, disconnecting this one. My mind is like, I feel like people need to, again, it goes to the way I was saying earlier, I feel like people need to like kind of sit. It's a moment of pause. It's a weird, it's really fast, but it's like, it's infinite. That moment
It's
is
acceptance.
yeah, it's like just like, wait a minute. Why am I afraid? Why do I not want to do this? Why do I am I even if you tell yourself, oh, I could possibly die this way,
Because
I
it could
could
start with leaving something behind. A lot of that starts with leaving something
Well,
behind.
this is what we call little depth. So the way I understand it is that the same way people have we get into psychedelics, we talk about like an ego depth.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine that every second that you breathe in and breathe out, you leave the version that you were on that last breath behind.
So it's like becoming a new person or a new version of you each moment after that.
Yeah, and so some people are afraid of change in such a way psychologically that doing something new or stepping outside of their comfort zone cues fear and anxiety for them because they know they have to leave behind who they were before.
Right, I see what you're saying.
It starts with that. Because death,
They're little deaths,
because what is the main fear about someone dying?
being not who they were.
Yeah, they're no longer the same. What I remember them as, or I will no longer.
Well, I no longer
see
be
them.
this person.
That one, yes. But when you die, what's left behind?
Nothing, honestly. Just the
No,
body.
everything is left behind. Everything
That you thought you were.
that you thought you were.
That's the attachment.
That's the people.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
The life you live,
Yeah.
the goals you had, the goals you didn't achieve, the goals
Right.
you almost achieved, all that stuff is wrapped into one and get left behind.
And you lose all those things when you change direction too. And that's what people miss.
Fear.
When you make a new choice, a new life choice, when you go a new direction, that's the same fear that you have when you think about dying. And that's the fear that holds a lot of people back. It's the little death. If you can't accept little death in life, you'll be afraid.
Because a bunch of little ones eventually make a big one. Eventually it gets you to the big one, but it's a little one. And I think that's pretty much how people end up not being able to see the peace. Them little fears, those little fears, I feel like it stops you from actually.
Stuff.
Yeah, I can't get to that moment of where I can be aware of everything and be like, oh wait a minute, I don't like this. No, you're afraid, so you're not even thinking about what you do or don't like. You thinking about what they do or don't like, what somebody that you experienced in the past did and didn't like. So now you got to make a decision for what that experience was. You no longer connected to what the present moment can give you as an opportunity to experience peace. You're looking at everything else.
And everything we're talking about at that point is really childhood trauma because where did you get your first nose at? From your household.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So if you haven't healed your childhood traumas of what you were and weren't allowed to do as a child, you're already limited as an adult. You haven't even talked about the bad decisions you made for yourself.
People don't come out with their nose tooted up at birth.
Yeah, no, that's something they talk.
They like this because shit. Now I have to be above the standard that was set in my household.
And I've lived up to this standard that was set in my household, so now nobody else can tell me anything. Or I didn't live up to the standard in my household, so now I don't feel good enough in any environment. You feel what I'm saying? How these are all different ways that people end up in certain mindsets.
They're gonna keep presenting themselves the same way because at the end of the day, that cycle of fear is always gonna be there because you got your nose tooted up, so you don't see what's in front of you.
Or you got your head in the ground because you don't believe in yourself, so you're missing everything that's great about you.
Come on now.
Yo, this sounds like to me like if you had to put a price on peace, it would be fear.
You have to let go of fear.
Let it go. Let go of fear.
If you can let go of fear, you can have peace.
I think everybody should be agree with that one because
We could cut that bitch with that quote because that's really fact.
Facts. Like you ask that question, you scared? Scared of what? How many niggas that asked you that in your life? You scared?
Right.
Did you tell them yes or no? Did you tell the truth or did you lie? Did you say exactly what you were scared of, or did you just opt out and say, I just don't feel like it?
Or did you say that you weren't afraid because you didn't want to say that you were?
Right. Do you accept who you are, who you really are in that moment, or did you reject yourself?
Because it's okay to be afraid.
I was afraid, but I went to Six Flags with my classmates, and they was all like, "If you don't get on the roller coaster, you a bitch." So I was like, I don't want to be a bitch.
So you sacrificed your peace to not be a bitch.
Sacrificed my peace to not be a bitch, and guess what?
I can ride roller coasters now because it was worth it. It was worth it.
Because you face fear.
I faced that fear. That is a fear that did not come from anything other than my childhood. Because I got on the screw machine before it was fixed when I was a kid.
And see what and it sounds like to me what that revealed to you is you literally wanted something else. Your piece was
like,
something else.
I
and
was
you
like,
enjoyed now
yeah, I was right there like, bro, I could literally sit down here with my nigga, hold the bags, and just be cool. But you know what? The other nigga in me was like, I ain't
wanna ride that roller
really
coaster.
look like a bitch if I'm standing right here with this nigga. So you know what?
But it ain't gonna be that bad either. Like I'm gonna get off.
And that's the thing because I didn't really care about being a bitch. I never did because I was a crybaby back when I was a kid. Because like I had just actually like turned into the nigga that I would like. I hadn't cried in years, so it was like I'm turning into a real nigga. Might as well keep going. Like that's how I felt. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I got through it. That's how I felt afterwards. I was like, I couldn't. I wouldn't have did it any other time because no one else would have tried to convince me. You gotta have 20 niggas like, come on, bro. And I'm like, you know what? That's 20 niggas that would think I'm a bitch. Let's go.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just like, you know what? This is big enough peer pressure where I can actually think about a whole bunch of ways that this would benefit me conquering my fear.
Right.
Because it's not like anybody here is a terrible person that would hang it over my head for the rest of my life. No. I didn't get that type of peer pressure. I got the type of peer pressure you get when people be like, come on. Because once you do it, you'll be just fine. It's over. You got 5 minutes of stress total. And
most of that is line time.
For real.
Most of that is line time. So guess what happened after that? Yeah, I wrote it again. Because I gotta make sure. If it's me and I knew I just lived that, let me go again. Win again. Now I ride everything.
Yeah.
Except for things that go way too high beyond my life. I will never ride the Goliath.
That shit's great.
I'm not even
getting you
approaching.
on that bitch
I
one
felt
day.
I felt that.
I ain't
Then
gonna lie,
the
that
Goliath,
bitch
I got on the
You gonna
Goliath.
die. You gonna die cold. You gonna still be thinking about the fact that you ain't give me on. You gonna be like,
But think about what Ryan just said though. That experience, like you said, it's really one of those experiences that shows you that peace isn't always what you think it looks like.
For real.
Yeah.
For real. Because I got my piece right after I got out that roller coaster. I was like, yep, cool. I'm a real nigga.
Bro, that's the point. I feel like that's part of humanity. We
Yeah.
evolve.
You get those little
like
wins.
that shit.
Those little wins add to your piece.
For real. You grow.
Yeah.
Because the more that you know the more that you allow yourself to do, the more that you know you're allowed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of times people miss, that's where you take your power back.
Right.
Like a lot of times for me, I always told myself I couldn't meditate. The first time I realized I had sat for like under a 2-hour meditation, bro, the honor it was to have allowed myself to do something that I told myself I couldn't do.
He gave himself that honor.
Nobody gave that to me. Nobody could have given that to me. I had to make the decision
Give yourself something.
to put myself in a place to feel better about myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's a lot of things when we talk about the price of peace too. It's
Things
like
you can give yourself are very important.
that's what I mean by like the lifestyle habits. Like, are you setting up your life to make you feel powerful, to make you feel peaceful, to make you feel blissful and joyful? Do you give yourself moments? And sometimes it has to be orchestrated until it can be authentic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's what people miss sometimes. Is like sometimes you have to do that uncomfortable thing. You have to go to the gym for a couple months before you can enjoy being in the gym. You gotta sit with your legs and ankles hurt until you learn how to sit in a lotus right to enjoy a meditation.
Yeah, you can't convince me that somebody was raised. You can't convince me that anybody in human nature is raised by a guardian, and everything that their guardian taught them is everything that they want to do in their life. No, you're going to be a little different, but that also means on the same spectrum that some of the things they taught you didn't agree with. It's like, so that's not who you really are.
Well, you're meant to
So
expand
you're
your parents' knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah,
but
The guardians.
that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is for the person experiencing that, right? For them to like grow up and not know what their piece is, not have a choice, just because these people down at their level when they're younger, the things that they didn't agree with the people that they're learning from, they kind of took it and got comfort in finding something that they're not peaceful with. And then as they got older, it comes back up because who you are is the same person from when you was a child. When it comes back up, it's like, dang, where did I experience this? It's because in a moment with somebody that you look like you're young, you learning like somebody that you were that was your guidance, your pole, whatever you want to call it.
You look up to.
Right. That person did a specific thing, and you had to find. You couldn't do what you would feel peaceful from. You had to find something that you now in life don't feel peaceful from. That work, I feel like
that's the inner child work.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Most people are like, it's like a I don't want to accept that. And if somebody mentions it,
it's a real slippery slope. Because
if I mention it, now you mad at me.
Trying to get back up from something that's sensitive usually is the case where people can't really necessarily talk to you directly about that thing. It's usually the thing that comes up that people notice, and we're just like, why are you acting like that? Like, what is going on? Like, people can't, like, they kind of scrutinize that person because of, like, they start to twist and turn a little bit because, they starting to have those heightened feelings and gut feelings and those, those wrenching feelings that they had back then because something was being disturbed back in their childhood the same way. So, and it's not even probably the same thing. It's probably something that's similar or something that just kind of feels like it is. And it's just like, kind of like, are you directing it at me? Why is everything coming at me? Like, they start asking themselves, why? And it doesn't necessarily a why thing. It's probably just a, can you accept what this is for what it is and then try to understand it, or is you going to keep letting it haunt you?
I noticed that in long-term relationships, like once I really got with my lady, you realize those moments that somebody's triggered by something that they don't really want to talk about, and it's like you catch it and you ask about it, and that asking about it becomes a trigger, and figuring out how to navigate those moments where you're like, something's bothering you. How can I hold space for you without disturbing you so you feel... Because some people don't want to feel seen when they're in spaces of trauma or discomfort.
Right. They all find whatever way they learn to deal with it. That's what that option that they chose shows up now in the present. It was done back then, but now it shows up.
That's where vices and things come in. Where you see people run into their vices, like people that drink, like, oh, they're having a bad day, they'll run and get a drink. You're like, oh, you're drunk today. That means you're having a bad day. Or some people to be, it's like, oh, I'm smoking all day today because I'm having a bad day. Or even if people that have people that passed on certain days and things of that nature, you realize that they have their certain rituals for those days of how they deal with it, and figuring out how to be able to hold space for people in those moments and being able to like really not disturb a person that's figuring their shit out.
Right.
And I think sometimes we have a hard time with that because we want to be able to help a person, and you can't always help somebody that's really, like I said earlier, like you have to let people get frustrated with the things that they need to change. And so when people have these certain pain points, sometimes it's a thing where it's like, all I can do is try my best to allow you to see that everything's still okay.
Yeah.
And that you can be in peace in those moments.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And figuring out how to best navigate that. And I think that's something big that we have to talk about when it comes to dealing with people that we see have trauma. How do we hold space for them without trying to push for them to be better or change? Because it's going to take time for them to heal that.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's kind of a song and dance of how to step in and out of their space without disturbing them in a way that triggers them.
Right.
That reminds me of what I was going to say. I was trying to think of it. I was like, I'm going to say something, and this is bringing me back to it. I was like, yeah, there you go, it's coming back. What I was going to say was...
realization scared you.
Yeah. It caught me quick, too. It's like, that's what I was saying with the whole people and their guardians. Like, people have learned those habits, right, from these I'm not going to say, what's the word? I want to sound politically correct here. Our parents' ignorant ways of life that did not work for them, but they're enforcing it on us. And we've had to make habits in order to deal with that cause us to now, in present time, from back then when we was little, adulthood, or teenage, or anything, where you're spending your present moment learning life, realizing that the choice I made wasn't really peaceful for me, although I had to do it at that time, right? I feel like because of that now, everybody has every person in humanity has something in their life that is happening. If you're alive, there's something in your life that's going to happen that's going to remind you of those moments. Each moment in your life where you experience choosing fear outside of peace and comfort, and now you got to deal with it from childhood to teenager. Each moment.
I can name what I'm still dealing with now.
See,
I can tell you right now, dishes.
bro.
Fear. One dish. I have a entire mouth to hear. That's fear. I still get up and be like, so glad I don't have to deal with that no more. Because I can leave them bitches and then come do it at night and go to sleep. But before, especially when I had roommates, nigga, I was like, my mom would murder. So I'm gonna handle that.
And then
Because
peace.
that's how I was built, on fear of not leaving dishes in the sink. Because my mom would come down here and cause a typhoon of verbal abuse
Bro,
just because of fucking spoon in the sink.
talking about it's going to track mouse and mice and stuff like that. There's gonna be a raccoon to come. Man, we don't even live in the area of Atlanta where the raccoons come. I mean, they do now. Back then when we was younger, they didn't. But now with all this extra shit they do. But still, it's like at the end of the day, that same thing that we were told and we had to do then. We come back to now. It's like it's like I said, it's a record stop because it happened. You having it before that moment.
Oh yeah.
You're good. That's how you know that moment is something. I don't know how to explain. It's a force, bro. Because it comes. It's like, no, I don't like that.
Yeah, because of that, I don't like it. I don't like
I
that.
don't like that.
Because of that, I don't like this and this and like that. Like I'd be like, man, that shit look nasty, bro. Who the fuck looks like this?
But I think, but there's pluses and minuses to what y'all just said, because one, there's an opportunity to heal from those moments. But two, if you look at the flip side of it, your parents still instilled habits in you that make you cleaner in your spaces now.
Yeah.
And I think that's the part that we don't take credit for.
Yeah.
It's like, I think that's the full circle of, like, it's a holistic thing. Like, I really believe that you signed a contract to be in a household that you grew up in, right? And if that's true, the experiences that you experienced were instrumental into making you the person that you are today.
Oh, yeah.
So at the end of the day, the things that we hate about or that were hard about our childhoods gave us the characteristics that once are healed to be the person that we need to be as adults.
She loves that I'm not nasty.
And I feel like that'll bring the peace, though. That'll keep the peace then at that point, because it's like
That's the full circle of it. That's how you can tell somebody that's really done their shadow work. Because people have childhood traumas that they haven't healed.
right.
And so they still blame their parents, or they blame something that happened in high school, or this one experience that happened a long time ago. Where yes, it's a trauma point, but if you actually heal that trauma point, you would accept that thing taught you something.
And
you would be
at you for no reason.
You would be grateful for the lessons that you were taught instead of playing victim to them. You know what I'm saying?
Don't be dirty.
That's it. It's
That's
okay.
It's okay. If you was increasingly dirty as a child, you got increasingly yelled at. That's your fault. They're not fixing it. If you was just being dirty, coming in the house with dirty on, going to sleep dirty, waking up dirty, going out the house dirty, then talking dirty, like
And then mad because somebody said something to you is
Yeah,
crazy.
and then you want to fight
Right.
because somebody said you musty. Come
I
on,
think
bruh.
you're mad because you recognize it's like that truth is like you didn't accept it. That part was like, in order to feel the peace, you gotta accept. Like there's some part you just gotta even accept. Like even if somebody's saying something you don't agree, you just the acceptance would allow you to see what's truly
going on here.
Yeah.
And so that, even like the defense of the ego, like if somebody said you musty and you stink, you should clean your ass. You should probably listen.
Yeah.
That's a comment you should probably listen to, my boy. Like I'm not gonna lie to you. If that's disturbing your peace is some nasty ass peace, my nigga. Like that's some nasty ass peace, my nigga. Like you should want that type of advice.
Clean
Right.
water ain't in your peaceful days.
Like come on, my nigga. You don't want the dishes you want a sink full of dishes. Like you ever smelled a sink full of dishes that's sick, bro?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
And I think that be what it is too. Is some people that be mad about their folks, they ain't never had the opposite. You feel what I'm saying? So you ain't never went to somebody's house that just stank for real. Alright,
Be like, this ain't my house.
with the roaches and all, it be bad. Gnats coming out the sink, it be bad. You know what I'm saying?
That's one of the decisions you learn from your childhood.
You know what I'm
When you get
saying?
adulthood, we gonna figure out what's gonna really make you feel peaceful. Because you don't like that stink because you mad I'm saying something about it. You just tolerating that stink. Because if you did like it, you would be mad about me saying anything about it.
You insecure about it.
Yep, if shit stink.
You know what I'm saying? But that's a real funny point in it. But we had an hour right here now, fellas. I don't know if y'all want to keep going. If y'all got some specific points. My God.
I didn't even know this topic was gonna go that long, but that was actually perfect. That's perfect time.
That's perfect time.
You know what I'm saying? So if y'all want to cut it here, if y'all, I know you had some questions, but I don't even think we really needed the question.
Bro,
we was able to.
I mean, I kind of touched on it without touching on it, but
Facts.
You can clip on Twitter.
fact, yeah, we will try it again next time. Never, but I think that to be honest with you, I think the peace part that we was like, if I was to say to sum up everything from what I just got from this conversation, is that reality is peace is like the price of peace is you being able to like basically stand up to your fears in order to have a better process of awareness so you can choose, which is being mindful. All the things I'm describing in this awareness is the mindful part. If one word was to put it up, it's just being mindful.
Have discretion.
Yep, just being mindful. So
You can have discretion.
I don't like this. Oh, I am aware that I don't like this. I need to do something else. So what else can we do than the thing that I don't like? Where did I get it from? Do you want to do that work right now or not? I don't know. Well then, if you don't know, then don't do it. Okay. Do something else.
Do something else.
Like, if you want
You
peace.
don't have to solve that problem today.
You want peace.
You want peace.
If you want it. Some of y'all don't even want peace and y'all ain't got
nothing to do with
I'm
us.
gonna say,
Let's
yeah,
take
we
a look
go.
at it. The problem can't be solved today. And if it can't be solved today, you might as well choose to relax. Because the shit that you actually want to fix got 1,000 steps to it.
Just
So if you
chill,
take step
bitch.
1 that you could actually take today, you actually deserve a break.
Chill, bitch.
Brain blast.
Calm your ass down.
Like,
Sit your ass down.
Crazy, man.
You ain't got nothing better to do. Then don't do nothing. What you talking about? Y'all be like, shit, we got to go do this on Wednesday and then do this on Friday. Well, guess what? Thursday, I ain't doing a damn thing. Balance, bitch. That's all you got to do. Figure it out. If you already got days where you know you're going to be fucking busy, well, guess what? I got days I know where I ain't going to be busy. The days I ain't doing shit.
There you
If
go.
you add shit to your schedule on the days you ain't doing shit, that means you need to be busy to be happy. I
And
know.
what? And don't agree to do a whole bunch of shit and be busy doing shit you don't want to do. And then be busy about to have to
If
do
you gonna
it.
be busy, do stuff you like, though.
Yeah.
Man. Do stuff you like.
I'm gonna disclaimer this. If you gonna do stuff you don't like and complain about it, how much you don't like it, do not get upset. Do not get upset.
Or at least get paid for it.
If somebody else start getting on you about complaining and now you like, why you mad at me? Look, you came with the upset energy, so they upset. And now we all upset.
And now you created a pointless situation because you
Like
could just
what?
say no.
We can't get by because you won't let nobody get by because you got a problem.
I'm mad. You be mad too with
You
me.
going slow because your leg hurt and you don't want to tell nobody because you just got an attitude and you like.
Because you don't want nobody to know that your leg hurt.
Right.
You just could have just went ahead and took the day, told them.
That you needed a rest before.
But nah, you like, I gotta come to work.
If you don't,
I
if
gotta
your
do
peace
it.
is based on how afraid you are, then I don't want that peace. That's not peace. That's
Stupid.
That's patience.
or ignorance, stupidity, ignorance, whatever you want.
That's the wrong form of patience.
It's just, oh yeah.
You patiently
Him too.
not getting
Patiently stupid.
Him too.
Patiently stupid.
you patiently in fear. You patiently anxious.
You just patiently waiting to blow up.
Yeah, that's against the narrative. You know, we always against somebody's narrative and all that good shit.
Usually be the normal.
Can I stop this shit from over here? I gotta go over there and stop it and be awkward as fuck. Ain't
I think I could, but you probably got the most easier exit.
Yep, I'm gonna go ahead. Excuse me.
No.
How I stop this motherfucker?
I don't know.
There you
Oh,
go.
do I already?